Hello everyone, this is Concho from Concho Sewing, and this video series is going to be all about basics of sewing. So in this video tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a PALS webbing panel. PALS stands for Pouch Attachment Ladder System, and it is developed by US Army, and it started to be used more and more onto the outdoor equipment, which is really great because it's very versatile. So let's start sewing. So first thing in creating PALS webbing, we need to find our center points so we can accurately create the webbing system. So I'll go ahead, I already marked the middle points, but I'll mark them again anyways. Okay, now next thing we need to do, anyways, this is the way I do it. So you can use any other pen that's easily removed from the canvas. If you're going to sew over it, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to lightly draw a middle line here, as you can see. Next thing is drawing 4 centimeters of the center, because PALS and Molle panel are divided into sections of 4 centimeters and 4 centimeters to the left and right, and 2.5 centimeters up and down. So let's do this to the bottom as well. Also mark other parts. When you're doing this, it's best to do it the most precise as you can. You don't want to be eyeballing it, because it's going to show later when you finish the work. All your mistakes will be shown. Okay, so next thing, we take some webbing and decide how much we need for this panel. So I'm taking the measure like so. I'm leaving some space to the left and right side. So this is my measure. Now we're going to measure how much of this tape we need for this particular panel. So we are not going to start from the top, we are going to skip one, and to skip accurately we place the one side on the top, one webbing on the top, and we take another part of the webbing and we place it exactly next to it, like so. And this is our starting point, so we're going to mark this. Okay, now let's cut another part of the tape. Okay, since we got our measurement, now we are going to cut a few of those. To determine how much exactly we need, you place one tape on the top, which you are going to skip. So skip one, that's one, another skip, that's 2, another skip, 3, another skip, 4. Okay, so we need 4 of these. So as you can see how I'm measuring this, Okay, so we got our 4 parts for the panel. Now we want to burn the ends so it doesn't fall apart like this. Okay, so the way I'm doing it, I'm using a candle. Burn the top, press with the lighter and let it cool off, and repeat. Okay, so we got our tapes. Now we want to determine where the tapes are going to be. So we are skipping one and placing the every other webbing, like so. Something like this. So the space should be 2.5 centimeters, the exact same amount, but you can use less if you want to, it doesn't really matter. I want to put my logo on the top here. So maybe something like this. Okay, so let's start sewing. Now we have our guidelines. Next thing, we are folding this in half, like so, and placing it somewhere. We want our logo here. We want to leave a bit of space from it, like so. So this is our point. So you place the webbing and you start sewing. On my machine I don't have that zigzag stitch, so I'm using front and back. I'm sewing it 3 times, 1 time down, up, and another run down. Now when you get to the end of this, what I usually do, I place another webbing like so, and I start sewing, so I have exact measure which I want. Now repeat the process. When I decide the exact measure, I put the needle down into the canvas, fold the webbing in half, like so, and put it exactly to the needle. Now I start sewing again, back, another run down, repeat the process, put the webbing down and start sewing, pull the needle through the canvas, let it be like so, press the webbing, put it to the needle, repeat again, put the webbing down, pull the needle through, leave it like so, fold the webbing in half, place it exactly to the needle and sew it. So that's the whole philosophy. Now the next part. Now to do this exactly symmetrical and in right order, you need a bit of a practice. Also, I'm using another part of the tape just as a measure. 3 lines more to go. So I got to this end. Now I'm turning the canvas around. So we got to an end. I'm turning the canvas around like so, pulling the needle out and moving it to the side like so. Pull the walking foot down. To do this accurately, to keep your webbing in line, I'm using another part of the tape and I'm just using it as a measure. This part, this space here, is my guideline for the rest of the panel. So I'm using it like so, trying to be as accurate as I can. Pull the needle through and hold this as a guideline. Now when you get to the end of this part, when you get to the sides of your panel, you want to sew at the edge. So you don't need to repeat the process of sewing it 3 times. You can do it just one, because you're going to sew it few more times when you're sewing the bag or whatever is you sewing. So this place here, you're going to sew it just one time, but also keeping it in line with another webbing, with another part of the webbing. Now let's do the other side. So we repeat the process. Okay, now that you are finished, you want to cut all the excess thread. So this is what we got. I did make some mistakes, it's not as accurate as I tried, so this part here got a little bit out of line here. Everything is a bit wobbly, but it takes a bit of a practice to master that. Okay, so I'll just sew my logo. Now before you continue anything else, you should use a lighter to burn the excess thread that is sticking out, because you don't want it to start unraveling on its own. So everywhere where you started, use a bit of a flame. That should keep it in place. This is a PALS webbing panel. Easy enough. Alright guys, I hope you liked what you've seen here. Comment below and let me know. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Also, I made a Patreon account, so you can go and support me there if you like what I'm doing. I hope you learned something from me today and you keep learning. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next tutorial.